Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sayani Das. So I hope you can just hear me well. This is about Ask Me Anything. This is my first episode of Ask Me Anything. So I'm a study abroad success coach, and you can ask me anything about study abroad. You can ask me about if you are planning, or if you want to plan, or how do you plan, what are the steps are there, how do we just kind of what are the way that we are just going to you need that kind of support from us. So you can ask me the entire journey, how the journey is supposed to be. You can ask me about your personal preferences, or you can ask me about something in specific. Some of you might have not know anything about study abroad, right? It can be like that you don't know anything, or you may be somewhere in one of those phases where you are stuck, or you may be doing it on your own and want to get more clarifications. So this is the time for you to shoot at me, and I'm here to just be answerable to your all queries. Okay. So let me start with one of the very important just the question that students ask me. They ask me, first question is, ma'am, why do we really need to go abroad, right? So I tell them, you need to go abroad to experience life skill. You need to go abroad to learn many things at life, okay, that you may not be just getting it from India. So when I started my journey, it was 2001, almost 25 years back, so you can imagine. And that was the time we had some goals, we had ambitions. We taken goals and ambitions from our siblings, or our cousins, or our friends, sisters and elder sisters and brothers. So that was something just given. Some of us had a goal to go to UPSC, some of us had a goal to go to study abroad, some of us had a goal to perhaps becoming in a corporate job. So we had many kind of chosen areas. My dad was a banker, so if your dad or mom were a banker, or say a doctor or engineer, so obviously your dream would be influenced by who you see them, who are your role models inside the family or outside the family, right? It can be anyone. So mine was interested. I just got my interest from my brother, my elder brother, and his friends. That's how I got inspired. And I knew what my goal was. So before I actually went through a longer term degree course, I went through short courses just to check it out, check the pulses, just to check it out. How is it going to happen? Like what is that needed, or what is that generally the requirements are if I'm suited for it. So I tested the water with short courses, and then I kind of gone for a longer term. So that's how our generation was. Like now, younger generation, we have a very concrete goals from the very young age, right? We know what we want to be from in high school or middle school, if not high school, middle school. From 6th grade we are prepared for it. Some of my students start preparing from 8th grade, which is a high school grade, right? 8th grade, and then you go on. So here your journey is something that is been idealized, or perhaps you have decided with support or with advices from your family, and then you just kind of look into it. How's that going to be? So if you ask me, why do I have to go? As I said, like, you have to go for experiencing the life, learning life skills there. It's not that you don't learn it in India, but you learn it deeper when you are going abroad. Why? Because you do not have support network. In India, you have your parents, your elder siblings, your support network is very strong, so they don't allow you to fall back, right? And when we go abroad and just try to just make our day, we start studying, just arranging our home, or taking care of our spaces. We do it on our own, individually, independently. That's the learning skill you learn it. And the second learning skill is your cultural exposure. That's again a very critical thing that you need it in the modern generation. Now the thing is, like, coming from India, we already are very exposed to multicultural. Like, there are multiple people from different culture, different language, religion, ethnic background, and we are quite used to it. But the issues that we don't face it here is, like, the clashes of culture, because we are all Indian, so there is some sort of homogeneity is there, some sort of similar behavior is there, similar understanding is there. But when we go to other country, there are called cultural clashes. Like, the clash is very different, because we don't understand the language or the behavior or the gesture, and we take it differently. We take it sometimes offensively, right? So when we start not doing that, undoing that, like, this is something, accepting that this is what something is okay to have it, and we don't need to actually get into so much of taking it in so harsh, and giving a more empathetic understanding of why they are doing it. So this cultural exposure and broad-mindedness helps you in your longer run. So other than the academic, the degree stamp, the prestige of the university, the degree that you get, these are the also equally important, the learning skills that you get. Your cultural exposure, your independent life skills are also added advantage. Now, we do also have best of the universities in India, Institute of Eminences in India. But when we compare, when we ask in the job market, where have you graduated from, then if you have a foreign degree, you are placed in a different hierarchy. You are placed in a different level. You are just, you are looked up. So that's one of the reasons that we just do it. So today we are going to discuss about why study abroad journey, and what is it going to get in advantage to you. So if I just narrate my experience, I have learned many things what I have not learned in here. Despite of me studying in the best of the schools and colleges in India, top schools and colleges in India, despite of that. So what I have not learned is, like, whatever I said to you, that it's not only the academics, it's not only the skills, but also being adaptive to new challenges, being a critical thinker, being a creative thinker, trying to just make it to any challenges, and becoming resilient of, like, you can just put me to any work and I deliver it with in a very timely manner, in a very in-depth manner, and in more quality manner. So these are the skills I liked it there. Like, these are the trainings that I got it. Anything you do qualitatively. You don't do it in a mediocrity, which is what we generally do it in India. Just trying to do it quick and easy things. So these are the skills that you get it, whether you stay back there or you return to India. These are some of the skills that is really going to be meaningful. That's going to give an edge to you. So having an experience of going abroad and studying and if settling there or returning to India is your choice, but the skills that you get it there, it's like a lifelong. It's something that is you cannot just compare it. It's a lifelong learning. It's uncomparable, and it's always going to give you a competitive advantage. So I think, hi Gayatri, I see you here. So do you have any question, Gayatri, that whatever I've spoken so far? Anything in particular, we can just take it up. All right. So, another question that I generally get it is like students telling when to start. When do we start, ma'am? It's like, if I tell you, as I said to you, some of the times when you start, if I ask you when you start your NEET preparation or your JEE preparation in India, maybe when you are 9th grade or 8th grade, at least 8th grade you start thinking about it. Okay, that this is what the course of life that you are going to choose it. Okay, so it can be like that. It can be as early as 8th. It can be as late as when you are in your college or when you are in your university. So whichever degree that you are just the next level degree that you want to just earn. So if you want to earn say UG degree, then it's good to start in your high school. Best is if you give a 4-5 years time, that is from 8th. But otherwise, you can start it from after your 10th board exam. That is when you are in 11th. Most of the students, they start in 11th, and the 12th they start applying. But best outcome becomes when you start in 8th, because you get a longer time period to understand what your career choices would be, which countries suit you. You also have more time to prepare for the standardized exams. If you don't get a good score, you can always work on it for the next, again retake the exam again in a short period of time and trying to just have it. So there are many kind of advantages when you start early. But starting at the nick of time definitely doesn't give up adequate result that you want to get it. Like you just don't get it the best result when you start at the last moment, at the last minute. You have seen that if you're just studying just before the exam, your result and the scores that you get, if you have studied a couple of days before the exam, differ, right? They differ because you given more time, more hard work, and therefore more effort, and therefore your scores are higher. So it's the same thing for the study abroad as well. Now, if you're going for your PG, then it's good to start when you are in UG. If you are going for your PhD, it is good to start when you are in PG. So these are the 3 landmark time that you need to remember. So whether we start early or late, whether we go for our UG, PG or PhD admissions, it depends on your choices. It depends on what you want to become. It depends on what your family goals are, whether your goals are aligned with your family goals. You and your family are aligned together in this kind of journey. So there are a lot of things go into it. So I generally prefer not only students to attend my AMA or my webinar, but also to the parents. I prefer parents to also attend, because they're the ones who are the background support for the parents, right? They're the ones who are just there always. They're the ones, and especially Indian parents, we take liberty in making decision on behalf of our children, or sometimes we also just support our children's decisions. So it is good to take a decision together, so that in future things are going to be easier, because you already have a support of a family together to this journey. So it is always going to be easier. So whether what your next step would be, whether you are going abroad, when you are going to go abroad, what program you are going to go abroad, has to be decided earlier. And the best thing is to talk within your family, to start having that discussion early in the family. Maybe you can just sit on a dinner table discussion. You can just throw up as a student. You can just throw up like, this is mommy, daddy, this is what I want to do, and what is your reaction? So now most of the time the parents sometimes get shocked because it is an expensive proposal. Many parents think that. So what happens at that time, that when such kind of the questions are tried to be discussed on the dinner table, you may get reactions, but that's okay. You have to understand that that's okay to have a reaction. It's not that you can expect that nobody should react. So just let's settle it down, think about it in deep. Don't try to just come up with a with a narrow down to a kind of final discussion in one dinner table conversation. Please don't expect that. Have several one of them. Try to be more doing the homework. As a student, you have to do a lot of homework to convince your parents. Just think about like how you used to convince your parents when you just want to have that extra money. You want to do something that you would like. You want to buy, or you want to just go out with your friends, or you want to just watch a movie when you just want to have that extra bucks. What do you do to your parents? How do you make your parents convinced? So same thing you have to do when you are doing your homework, right? You just really have to do your part of the work. That what is that it interests you, and how do you get the support from your parents? So having that kind of small homework, or maybe if your parents are already aligned with you, or parents are already telling you, yes, you must go abroad for study, then take them along. Just do your homework together with your parents. Whichever parent is free, or whichever parent has more knowledge, or whichever parent is more interested. Just bring that parent along with you. Start doing teamwork. I always believe that study abroad is a teamwork. It's a family decision. It is not an individual chart of line. No, I don't believe that. So then, in a sense, to make it more useful, to make it more easier, I always feel that it has to be done together at family level. It has to be done together with more meaningful discussions, and this discussion should start early. Maybe this discussion should start today, now, after you listening to my AMA. You should start your discussion today. You should just throw up that piece of discussion to your parents or to your elder siblings. So to anybody, and just to see how their reactions are, and that first reaction should not stop you to just go ahead. You should also try to just find out more concrete details, more concrete evidences, more concrete support of what you're dreaming to be. And then gradually you see the alignment of the family with your dream career, or you can just find your dream career along with your family. It's both way possible. It can be that you convince your parents, or it can be your parents and siblings just kind of take part in your charting out your career path. It can be any way. Both the ways are good, but always remember that nobody is the better well-wisher than your family and friends. But family, I put it in the top. Then your friends come, obviously. So nobody is going to be the more well-wisher. You would not find anybody better well-wisher or more well-wisher than them. So if they are talking against it, they'd be having some kind of reasons behind it, and it's your responsibility to answer those, say those questions or those inquiries or those objections. And for that you have to do your homework. You just can't be upset with that. You can't be thinking of chucking it off because your parents did not like it in your first conversation. Obviously, if I'm a parent and my daughter or my son says something to me which I don't want to do, my first objection would be no. But it can turn to yes tomorrow. So that kind of relationship has to be brought. And that's where the maturity comes. So when you are young, maybe when you are in high school, you may not be having that maturity. So I would always say that you have to take help from your parents, because they are the ones who understand you at that moment, and they are the ones who could be best helping you at that moment. Therefore, seeking their help in deciding on your career is very, very important. But if you are in UG or PG, then it is always a kind of you are independent, you are an adult, so you can make decision, and sometimes about education sector or your education choices more than your parents perhaps, in that case. So in that case you have the upper hand, or you are in a better leverage position to just state your parents like, this is what something is good, and it may be good for, it may be good, and then what do you think about? So that's a very simple question, what do you think about? And the reaction to the questions should not be reactive to you. You should respond to that reaction. You should not react to that reaction. So most of the times what happens is the parents say something, children react, and they just stop it. And that's the end of the conversation, and we never get back. Similarly, there is the Cold War starts. So that should not be the case. You have to respond to your parents' reactions with more supportive evidences. You have to give the evidences that, hey, mom and dad, this is what is, this is what I feel, the career is more important, and therefore, I see, I'm aligned with it, and these are 1, 2, 3 things that I feel it's good for my career, and I want your advices. So that's how it is going to be. Once you have that done, then it becomes easier. Then you make your, for your friends. It's very easy to bring people to your support by just listening to them empathetically, by understanding them, their queries. As I said, as family, we are always well-wishers, right? So not negating their views, but also accepting their views and responding to their questions are very, very important part of the starting of the journey. So once you know that you are ready for it, then the things get easier, because you have support from your family, you have confidence that you can get through with your family support, and then the things become easier. Then it's more of a strategic process than of a other kind of support process. So it's going to be 6:30, and I see Alan has joined and Gayatri has joined. If you have any question, you can ask me, because it is ask me anything, so you can ask me anything. Alright, if you do not, let me see if there are any chats, comments. Okay, if you do not have questions, then that's all about today. So I have started this Ask Me Anything, AMA program every week. That is Friday 6 to 7. I have kept it. If there are less number of joinees, then we can wrap it up at 6:30. Otherwise, if you have lot of questions, and I can stretch it to 7. That's how I kept my the entire kind of time period for, because I want to just give you clarity as much as possible. And so every day we'll start with a small bit of part of it, and then I will talk about that journey, a small bit of journey, and then you can ask me regarding that, or you may ask me anything that you feel is a pressing kind of hurdle with you, or something that is troubling you and you want to get your clarifications right. So it may be from what I discuss, or it may not be. It can be anywhere in your understanding of study abroad. So all welcome. So that's all about. If you do not have a question, then I can stop the live now with your permission. If you have your question, please wave your hand and I can put it in the chat and I can just answer to you. All right, I don't see any questions, so thank you so much for attending, and I hope you all the best, and stay with me, walk with me in your journey, and I promise I'll make it a lot easier for you. So take care and see you in the next week AMA program at 6 to 7 every Friday. Take care.